and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. The biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Tina is adopting a run-walk strategy today. She's only doing 5k. Good for you, Tina. Glad to have you here. Welcome along. It is the community run, the 10k community run. We've got Sarah Jacobson, Paul Haywood, Marcus Holmes. Gina is in the town as well. Who else have we got? Loads of people. Normal, Jackie Ramos is there. Amy says she's going to join later. I am going to go at... we'll start at 9. Sarah Jacobson wants me to make sure I use sun cream. Do I look like I've got too much of a tan then? Yeah, Amy says she'll join later. Hello if you're watching on YouTube. In the chat is Amy and Tina at the moment. Good evening, both. Marcus says sunscreen is important. Yeah, but I mean, I'm running inside. I don't need sunscreen if I'm running indoors. That just seems very silly. Have we got Marcus? Have we got Clive Finnimore with us today? Georgie is with us. Hello, Georgie. Pez is there. I'm going to be running this route in New York in real life in 2 weeks. Wow! How exciting, Sarah. Adrian Mutt says it sounds like Adrian is here as well. And Todd is here. Hello, Todd. Marcus says, where is Clive? He's just lazy. Just can't be bothered. Welcome along to Victoria, who's joined us tonight. Tonight is the start, or this week is the start of our training regime for our big race of the summer out in Chamonix. So we have 10 weeks to go before Chamonix. So this week we are starting our 10-week training block. And Victoria has a 53-kilometre run, 56-kilometre run, something like that, in Chamonix. And I have the big one, the UTMB 100-miler. So this run will be the most elevation Victoria has ever done in one run. Oh yeah, and we're supposed to be doing the Everest Challenge in August, Marcus says. So that'll give us some hill training. Walking up Everest for a whole day should be fun. So yeah, today is the start. Today is the start of the training block. We have to run almost every day and make sure we get in the miles and get in the elevation training. And by the way, I'm going to hand you over to Victoria so I can say hello in game to everyone who's running.
Oh, happy Monday! You've noticed I've got something around my neck. I'm trialling a new piece of kit which was recommended to us, although so far I'm not very impressed. It's this special cooling towel. It's meant to keep you cool for hours. After Thames past 100, I will do anything I can to try and keep my body temperature down if it's baking hot. Amy says good luck for the start of training. Thank you, Amy. She says I've got a nice tan at the moment and she's watching Sophie play netball. We'll be walking home when she's finished and then she'll pop on for a little bit. Good luck, Sophie. I hope she's doing well. Amy says she keeps looking like she's been swimming when she goes running. We had rain and thunderstorms yesterday, which temporarily lowered the temperature. It feels like it's heating up again now. Tina has a typical runner's dog walker's tan. Yeah, I've definitely got a few interesting tan lines, but not as much as Stephen.
What did the buffalo say when his son left for university? Bison. Bison. That's actually, for Marcus, that's not bad. So yeah, welcome along to the Monday Community 10K. We are 1 kilometre in, just approaching 1 kilometre in with the beacon group. I'm the one with the yellow beacon there. My name's Stephen. Hello! And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitch, welcome along. We're live on the Zwift Run channel on YouTube and Twitch, and on the Film My Run Facebook page on Facebook.
Amy says she hates tan lines. I can't say I'm too keen on them. However, a few years ago, I purchased a moisturising lotion and I failed to notice that it had this tanning ingredient in it. Now that was the most ridiculous tan line stroke finger marks slapped up my leg. I looked ridiculous. Give me a natural tan line any day compared to that.
Right, Jean has just told a joke and I've issued her with a warning. She says, why do Norwegians, that's the first problem, why do Norwegians build their own tables? And she says, no IKEA. See, but the problem is, IKEA is Swedish, isn't it? So, first warning out to Jean, a terrible joke. Let's not have any more of them, or she's in big trouble. Oh, now I've been stupid. Right, Victoria says the joke is that they don't have... Yeah, no, I think you're right. The joke is that they don't actually have IKEA in Norway because they have them in Sweden, and so they don't have IKEA, so they have to build their own tables. I am a dumbass. I apologise to Gina. I'm sure that is right. Yeah, you are correct. Victoria worked the joke out for me, so I was too stupid to work it out for myself. Sarah Jacobson says, I really burn easily, so I try to be in the sun, try not to be in the sun too long. Gina says, what do you give a dog with a fever? Gina's really going for it today. She's already put 3 jokes out there. Mustard because it goes best with hot dogs. Alright, Marcus has just announced to everybody that I didn't get the joke. Adrian says you're on a final warning now, Gina.
I'm with Sarah Jacobson on burning easily. Back to 50. Try and stay out of the sunshine.
Marcus has just asked me what poles I'm going to be using for UTMB. I have my standard Lecky poles. So L-E-K-I. And they are carbon, which makes them nice and light. And they've got the gloves, which means they're easy to pop on and off. The only problem with the gloves for long distance trail races I've found is that because you have to wear the gloves all the time. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but it makes sense to. Because then you'd have to be putting gloves every time you want to use your poles. You'd have to take your gloves out, put your gloves on, then get your poles out. So what you do is you wear the gloves all the time, and then you just get your poles out and clip them on really quickly. Anyway, over a long period of time, the gloves do tend to rub on the insides of your hands and can get quite dry and sore, which is what I found last year in Chamonix. Victoria's got my old Lecky poles, which are slightly heavier and have got straps rather than gloves. Did you? Oh, Victoria says she had a blister using those. For what race? Oh, the last 100-mile race you did. Have you done more than one? Have you done more than one 100-mile race, have you, Victoria? Wait a minute. I thought you told all your bad jokes already. I can't. Can you do it? Can you do it?
Amy says, I'm only thinking about it at the moment. A 24-hour event. The laps are 10k and you can do as many as you want in 24 hours. It's local to her, but never done it before, so giving it a think. Amy, I would suggest go for it. Because you're not tied to completing each 10k within a certain time frame. You can take breaks when you want. You can make up the rules within that 24-hour event, basically. Sounds good.
Right, anyone running with me, I think I'm going to increase to 10 kph in about 800 metres. So when we get to 7k to go, we'll go up to 10 kph. I just felt like I wanted to kind of warm into the run a bit, and I feel warm enough now to speed up a bit. So if everyone's happy with that, we'll do that. 26.5 degrees in shed quarters, according to the Amy Green Memorial Thermometer, or the AGMT as we like to call it. Right, Paul Hayward says, if it's in small increments. Well, can I just do it in one big increment from 9 till 10? That's what I'm planning to do. Right, Victoria wants me to do 9.5. Oh, I've just announced it on screen though that I'm doing 10. Paul can do 10, he knows what he's doing. No, we'll go up to 10. I've made my decision. My brain will be frazzled if I do something different now. Victoria says she doesn't have the confidence to jump to 10, so Victoria might just stay at 9 or go to 9.5. Who knows what will happen? Anyway, Jackie and Gina are back there enjoying a nice relaxed run. Tina Beard is there doing her run walk strategy. I've got 3 people running with me, including Normel. Marcus is asking Sarah when her next race is. Good point, Marcus. What races do people have coming up? Sarah Jacobson says, Stephen, nobody's expecting you to increase your pace correctly at the right time. Right, what's this race that Amy's saying she wants to do? A 24-hour event. 10k laps. You can do as many as you want in 24 hours. It's a month before Beachy Head. Sounds like a really good idea. Because you can stop whenever you want, can't you? You don't have to do the full 24 hours. And you can do as many or as few as you want. So you could do 10k and then have an hour's break and then do another 10k and have another hour to have a little sleep. Sarah Jacobson doesn't have any races on the calendar at the moment. She might do a half marathon in the fall, in the autumn for those people in the UK and Europe. Got quite a good group of people from around the world again today. Canada, the USA, Spain, the UK, Sweden, the Netherlands. Where's Contreras from? What flag is that? Right, Victoria, I may need to go and use the facilities in the house. Comfort break because we had a chicken vindaloo Indian very hot spicy meal last night, and I had the remainder for my lunch today, so it has decided to make an appearance, so I will be off shortly.
So that serves you right, the stuffing your face at lunchtime whilst I was at work in the office. That's what was on the menu for dinner tonight. It was Stephen's Father's Day treat yesterday that I bought him an Indian takeaway. And my treat because I didn't have to cook. Today has felt like a long day. We had to get Ellis to school by 5:45 this morning to go on a residential trip to France. Only 2 of the coaches were late, so we could have taken him about an hour later and he was still managed to have caught the coach on time. Been a long day today. Taking Ellis to school early.
Right, I'm going to catch up with everybody, and then we're at 10. In fact, we're at 10 kph now, aren't we? Right, I've 7k to go, but I've got to catch up. So I will just speed up a little bit, and actually everyone's 30 seconds ahead of me now.
Tina said no curries in her house, as both her and her husband have gut issues. Stephen didn't have gut issues until today. Hello to Anthony Anderson. He says, good evening everybody. The A team is back in shed quarters. Thank you, Anthony. I am back onto training. I was allowed almost a week off. And today we start training for OCC. I did sustain horrendous blisters the weekend before last, so I couldn't have run if I wanted to.
Right, Victoria has said to me, and I don't know how she's. Did you watch my last live stream? Okay. Victoria has just asked me the question, do you want to talk about your latest video editing project? I don't know if Sarah Jacobson or Paul Hayward have anything to say about that. Hello, Anthony. Yeah, the A-team is back in shed quarters. Marcus, I'm happy to do whatever you want. So I am going to start a training series of videos covering the UTMB training for the next 10 weeks. So we'll have a video every week. We'll have a video every week, starting at the end of this week. And Marcus wants to know what metrics I'm going to be paying attention to. It will almost certainly be elevation and distance, of course. But let's see. I'm quite happy to do whatever you want, Marcus. You tell me what things you want me to focus on, and that's what I'll do. Sarah Jacobson, with regard to my latest video project, she says, film my tent. Tina Beard just says, no! Marcus wants to say, it says, let's go over tent sizes. I am not getting into it. Not today. This is a family show, and you know, I just think we should keep it professional today, as always. Every Monday, totally on the ball. Gina's trying to move away from Vindaloo, which is probably a good idea. Step away from the Vindaloo. We're coming up to 25 minutes. So, approaching halfway. Marcus says, Stephen, would you say that your tent is large, medium or small? Sarah says, thank you, Marcus. She says, where he pitches it is surely more important. Yeah, a good point, Tina. We are broadcasting to a larger number of people than we were the other night. So, anyway, moving on. We have just over 6 kilometres to go. Paul Hayward says his tent conversation is now finished. Getting told off by Tina. She's quite right, though. So we're well into our nearly at the end of 4th kilometre. So we are making our way through the Monday Community 10K, definitely. Anyway, for people confused, I am doing I'm working on a video at the moment, but it's very long. And I was explaining to people the other night that it's particularly boring because essentially all it is about is how to put up a tent and take it down again for a week. Victoria says no, it's not. Victoria's trying to defend me. Hang on. Let me give you to Victoria, because Victoria's now going to big me up.
No, quite the opposite, because it's really dull and boring and irritating listening to somebody edit a video, edit a piece of music. It's all basically, you just keep hearing the same bits over and over again. And to be fair, I've only heard one reference to a tent and nearly everything else to runners, and I don't know if that's just a coincidence or not.
I guess it felt to me, when I was there, like all I was doing for 11 days was putting up a tent and taking it down again. So hopefully the video will come across not quite so tent heavy. Not quite such an emphasis on the tent, and more of an emphasis on, you know, everything else. Because the tent isn't the main focus here. It certainly shouldn't be the main focus. Less than 6k to go. Right, Anthony Anderson has done something terrible, and I hope he's okay. He says he broke the golden rule yesterday and did a run outside on the seafront. He says, amazingly, no problems to report. Amy Green says that was brave, Anthony. And Anthony says, yes, I thought I'd be brave. So a few people will be coming up to 10k now. 5k now. So I think a few people are leaving. Sarah Jacobson is going to call it a day. I think Tina Beard is calling it a day at 5k. So let me just drop a few ride-ons to people if I can. Let's just go through the group and drop some ride-ons. Well done, Sarah. We may as well go through everybody. Contreras there. Marcus Holmes. The front of the pack, he's walking. Marcus is strolling. Why are you walking, Marcus? Paul Hayward. There's Paul. Well done, Paul. CBDV. Well done to you, Georgie. Well done to you, Tina Beard. Has done 4k so far, so I think she's stopping at 5k Casa. Well done. So let's just move down the field. These are all people who are way ahead. Jackie Ramos, well done, Jackie. People all going faster than 6 minutes per kilometre. There's Gina, well done, Gina. Anata from Ireland. Somebody from mid Nebraska Try. Thomas from South Africa. Well done to you. Chunky Monkey from the UK. Martinez from Spain. PK from Canada. Well done to you. Was that Marcus saying? Oh, Marcus is at 15% incline. Wow. Right, that's why Marcus is walking, because he's training for Ben Nevis Ultra, and he is at 15% incline on the treadmill. Good work, Marcus. Anyone else want to join Marcus on 15% treadmill incline? So we are 31 minutes in, and just coming up to 5k done. Paul Hayward says absolutely not. Gina says, but no thanks. Yeah, she says awesome, Marcus, but no thanks. Sarah Jacobson says we don't believe in hills in Chicago. Flat Earth, Chicago. Marcus says he's a sweaty mess. Gina is at 1% on the treadmill. I'm at 0%. Victoria's at 0%. Oh no, have you got the shoes on? No, you haven't. No, Victoria's at 2%. Well done, Vic. So at this rate, it's going to take us a little over an hour to do our full 10k. So we're just coming up to 5k now. Sarah Jacobson has hit 5k. Well done, Sarah. Good work. Victoria's just hit 5k as well. And so have I. Alright. Well, you are on 2% incline. So Victoria's gone over 150 heart rate. I'm on 124, but I'm not on 2%. Yeah, me and Sarah Jacobson rocking the 0%.
Sarah, rookie error on my part. I should have checked my treadmill to see if the 0% shoes were on or not. I feel a fool. I'm paying the price.
It'll be a good training session, Victoria. A good first session of the new training block. So if you weren't here at the beginning, we were just saying that this next week is our first week of training for our event in Chamonix at the end of August. So Victoria is running a 56-kilometre mountain race. I'm running a 100-mile race in Chamonix. So we are both starting 10 weeks of training from now. I'm going to do at least 100k a week for the next 4 weeks. Victoria about 60 to 70k a week for the next 4 weeks. And then after that, we're going to increase the mileage. And at the same time, we're going to be doing hill sessions, climbing sessions to make sure our legs are ready. We're going to do them both on the treadmill and outdoors because we've learned by experience that often the downhills in these races are as crippling as the uphills. So you have to train for downhill. So we can't really do that on the treadmill. So we will be doing that outside. So gradually making our way around the reservoir. The reservoir loop is 2.5 kilometres long. So over the course of our 10k, we'll do it 4 times. Has everyone now got their Pride On t-shirt? Victoria says she hasn't got her Pride On t-shirt, so she needs to do those runs this week. I got mine on Friday. You need to do... Well, Tina Beard only did 1 run, so you only need to do the fine and sandy route, and I think you get your t-shirt. Gina hasn't got hers. Socks and shirt, but not the shorts for Paul Hayward. Tina... Tina Beard says, yes, Stephen, I got mine so easily. Wow. Right, Sarah Jacobson, having been lacking in mojo since April, has suddenly said, oh, I fancy doing a marathon. She's tempted to sign up for a fall marathon, a marathon in the autumn. Amazing. Redemption from Paris, she says.
Sarah, do it. And if you want a running partner to do some training runs on Zwift, I'll join you.
I think Tina's getting very close to level 30. Tina, are you going to break level 30 today? Anthony got his t-shirt today. Well done, Anthony. I'm just about to pass Marcus on his 15%. Oh, Anthony, yeah, I said Anthony's got his on Friday, yeah. Oh, sorry, on Friday, sorry. Yeah. 90 degrees in Wayne Wallace's treadmill room. Wow.
Sarah says, to be fair, I was definitely sick when running Paris. The fact is, Sarah, you completed Paris Marathon and you should be really proud of yourself. That was all about a finish line and you did it.
When I was younger, we definitely used Fahrenheit more than Celsius. And all the TV weather forecasts were in Fahrenheit. And they used to say, yeah, it's going to get up to 70 today, or it's going to get up to 80 today. These days, we are totally Celsius. And we don't talk about Fahrenheit here in the UK at all, really, anymore. It's all about, it's going to be 20 degrees, it's going to be 25 degrees. Nobody mentions 70 or 80 these days. But yeah, like I say, when we were children, we definitely used to. So it's definitely changed here in the past 30 years or so. Because obviously I'm only 35. In my mind, 1980 was only about 20 years ago. It's weird how that works. You know, I feel like 20 years have kind of disappeared somewhere.
In response to what I just said, Sarah says, Victoria, you are the best hype woman. Thank you, Sarah. I delivered I've done it twice now at work, presentation on growth mindset and how I've used it with my running. I'm trying to persuade Stephen to let me do the presentation on one of his Film My Run slots.
And I'm resisting the urge because everybody keeps telling me that Victoria is now the star of the show. So if I give Victoria any more airtime, she's going to entirely take over. And I can't have that. Gina says that's 5 for me. Well done, Gina.
Bob DeVos, hello to you. He says, have fun drinking my beer now. I wish we'd finished. Tina said, thank you, Gan. I'm just about done. See you again soon. Hi, Tina. Nice to have you running with us again. Amy and Anthony have said, well done, Tina. Amy, contrary to what we like, she's saying she likes hearing 30 degrees. Actually, if I had a week off work, I would like to hear 30 degrees. Sarah, defending me here, Stephen. She says, yes, I would love that, Stephen. She has to do this.
Yeah, but since when have I listened to anything you tell me to do, Sarah? Yeah, it's purely about jealousy. So what are you going to do about it? Yeah. Right, 6.5 kilometres done, 3.5 to go for the Yellow Beacon. I was going to say the Yellow Beacon group, but it isn't really a group because I haven't actually caught up to the guys in front yet. I've just been sticking at 10 kph since my Vindaloo break. So, yeah, it's just me on my own. I can see the guys up ahead there, and I think I'm slowly catching them. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. Why don't I just darn well catch them up? I'll speed up to 11, just to catch up to the back of Paul Hayward and Victoria. Just to make it look like we've got a little group together. Because we have somewhat spread out today. Round the reservoir. Jacobson's going to run in real life in New York next week. Fantastic. Tina Beard is slowing down. I think Tina Beard is just about done for the day. So here we are. I'm just going to catch the guys up just as we get to 7k done, 3k to go. Monday evening here in the UK, south coast of the UK, in Sussex, by the sea. If I left my front door now, I would just have to walk 200 metres and I would get to the sea, and then I could run 3 kilometres in the opposite direction and get to the hills. We're very lucky here to have such a lovely place to run. 7 kilometres done, 27 degrees in shed quarters this evening, and 45 minutes of running completed. Good heat training for the runs that we have coming up. Amy says it's hot in her garage as well. If any of you don't know or were not aware, the thermometer that I am looking at to tell me how hot it is in here was a gift from Amy Green. So it's an FMR thermometer gifted by Amy Green, which we were ever grateful for, as were a number of the things dotted around the studio here, donated and gifted by other people to Shed Quarters and to the Film My Run crew. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. So we did call the thermometer, I did, the Amy Green Memorial Thermometer, even though Amy Green is alive and kicking. It just tickled me. I found it amusing, so I stuck with it. Oh, Amy, I think it's only half an hour that you can do late join for, isn't it? You can only do late join for about half an hour. So I'm running with Paul Hayward and Victoria. Somebody else. Who is that 4 seconds behind us? Somebody else in the FMR club is 4 seconds behind, who I just can't see their name at the moment. How's that thing doing? Pointless. Victoria's testing out a cold towel that was supposed to be really good at staying cold. But Victoria's not that impressed with it at the moment. However, we didn't actually dip it in ice cold water. It was just cold water from the tap. So, anyway, at the moment we're not terribly impressed with this cold towel. Somebody told us it's supposed to stay cold extra long. So, yeah, maybe. 7.5 kilometres done, 2.5 to go of the Monday community run. Jackie Ramos is still running. We've got PK still running as well. So a couple of people are about to finish Nebraska Try, or mid-Nebraska Try. Wayne Wallace, he's about to finish. Hez is about to finish. And PK is about to finish. They're all on about 9.5k. So they've got 500 metres to go. Well done, and thank you if you are just about to finish. See you all again next week, or, of course, later this week. Right, Tina says she has one of the towels, and she loves it. But you need to take it off and shake it out to get it to go cold again. Okay, yeah, I did read that in the instructions. So you need to take it off. Right, Tina, Victoria wants to know approximately how often do you need to... I mean, I suppose every time it goes warm. Every time it seems to go warm, you just take it off, snap it again. Well, surely it depends on the temperature. If it's boiling hot outside, it will go. The towel will go warm more quickly. Sarah says, "What's the run tomorrow?" Good point. Don't know. Tuesday, isn't it? So Victoria will be out with the club tomorrow, probably. Let's see. What have we got on tomorrow? Hang on. No, not that one. No, not that one. That one. Well, we could do another Pride On run at 6:30, or we could do the ZLDR speed session at 7 o'clock. What do we think? Pride On run at 6:30? Yeah, Tina says you need to take it out and snap it again when it feels warm. So just when it feels warm, whenever that is. So just about to hit 8 kilometres. There we go, 8 kilometres for the Beacon group. Just over 2 kilometres to go. So the run actually is 10.1, isn't it? 10.01 or 10.1. It's about 100 metres longer than 10k for some reason. Victoria says, since Bob de Boer mentioned drinking beer, all Victoria can think about is having a nice cold beer to cool her down. When was the last time you had a cold beer? What, an alcoholic one or a non-alcoholic one? Okay. Victoria's going to crack open her non-alcoholic beer when she's finished running. Oh, very nice. All chilled in the fridge, ready and waiting for her. Where's my Red Bull, eh? In the shop still. Okay, so Tina says, I've used my cold towel on long runs in the summer, saved my bacon, I can tell you. Okay, so there's a ringing endorsement from Tina Beard, as well as our friends who also have recommended it. So I suppose we should take some heed from that and say that maybe it does work. Amy says, it's hot. It is indeed. But we have just over a mile left to run. Victoria is ready to combust. Please don't do it here on the treadmill. I don't want to have to clear that up. I like Red Bull, Sarah. What do you want me to drink? Anthony says, I assume talking about the beer, that's an incentive to get this done. The question is, has Victoria speeded up to try and get it done quicker? 1 mile to go. 7 minutes before the hour. Victoria is simply focusing on the beer in the fridge and just keeping the same pace, and eventually the run will be done. Bob DeBoer says, what are you all complaining about the heat for? My air conditioning is working fine. Yeah. I wish we had air conditioning, Bob. Paul Deering says, hello Paul, by the way. I need speed for my 10k and park runs and endurance for the occasional marathon. Full of admiration that you can do both. I need to mix up my lazy outdoor summer runs. P.S. No more compliments. Good to hear from you, Paul. And also, nice to have you comment on a stream where I haven't mentioned anything about running a certain time for a marathon. It's nice to have you with us again, Paul. And thank you for that. Yeah. Victoria, well, I'll let Victoria tell you what she thinks.
So, Paul, our strategy is the 80-20 running. And I really did see improvements in my speed work. So, in order to increase volume per week, I had to drop my pace. So 80% of running is low heart rate, but that 20% is high intensity interval training. But if you can get up to, say, for my marathon training, it was 100k a week. I don't know what Stephen will suggest for parkruns and 10Ks, but definitely increasing volume per week at a nice, comfortable pace.
Yeah, that's basically our story. Is just, because it might be okay for like younger people who are a bit more energetic and who can stave off injury to keep running fast all the time. But for us old guys and girls, it's just, you've got to keep up the volume, the number of miles you run in a week. You've got to keep that, for us anyway, we've got to keep that quite high when we're training. But yeah, you can't do it all year long, just when you're doing your training block. So keep your mileage high, but just keep your speed slow for most of those runs. And then at least once a week, maybe twice a week, do a really hard, fast session. And you can't wimp out of those sessions. You've got to go hard. So you've got to make your heart rate get up there into zone 4 and zone 5. You know, too many people go into a fast interval session, and what they do is they kind of wimp out a little bit and they say, well, I won't go so hard. But you have to. You have to do the real hard effort just for those 1 or 2 sessions, and then everything else can be really relaxed.
Oh, that's what I like Zwift intervals for, is if I do a hard Zwift interval session at the prescribed workout, when I first look at it, I think I can't do it. But you have to trust that Zwift have set the paces correctly, and you just have to hang on, and I'm sure you'll see results. Bob says, calling yourself old people and run sub-3 marathon. That's his kind of humour. Anthony's doing an interval run tomorrow, 4 times 1600 metres. That's a tough one, Anthony. Good luck. Sarah likes that humour as well.
Right, Sarah's saying that's me in regard to the kind of person who goes into an interval session and wimps out a little bit. I don't believe that, Sarah. Yeah, okay, once or twice, if you're not feeling it, you can do that. But I know if you have to put the effort in, Sarah, you will. I know that you think that you're no good at running, but you are. You have a crisis of confidence sometimes. That's all baloney, and you need to believe in yourself. And you do. I think deep down you do believe in yourself. Yeah, it's just how much do you want it? That's the big question. You know, we can set up training sessions. We can set up training blocks of 10 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. Whether you stick to it or not is all about how much you want the goal at the end. Do you really want it, or are there other more important things in your life? And it's fine if there are. It's fine if, you know, running a 4-hour marathon or whatever it might be, or a 10k in under an hour, whatever the goal is. You know, if you decide that there's something more important in life, that's fine.
Paul said, thanks guys, I'm hitting the 80% no problem, but I'm lazy, so the 20% I struggle with. I think Zwift workout may help. He ran 40 miles last week, put on 2 kilos in weight. He's at 92 kilos, so diet may be an issue also.
To be honest, Paul, you actually sound like me. My diet is terrible. When I'm not specifically training for an event, I eat absolute rubbish. And Victoria will be a testament to that, and so will most of the people who I chat to on the live stream who know what I eat. And if I'm not training for a specific event, my diet is rubbish. But when it comes to setting a goal, I will be a lot more disciplined. Maybe not 100% as disciplined as I should be, but a lot more disciplined. And it's just, you know, it's just having that mindset of, right, today I am going to do that hard run, and today I am not going to eat cakes and chocolate.
And for me, it's those Zwift interval sessions where I'm in a group that really help push me. I know other people are going through exactly the same as me, and we get each other through it. Wednesday workout is really excellent for that group vibe and pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. You can do it, Paul.
Okay, 400 metres left to run, and then we'll be done. 1 hour and 1 minute completed. We've got just 90 seconds or so left. Paul Hayward says, thanks for leading. Amy says, I'm trying more with my diet this summer, as I know I'll feel better if I lose some weight. And Amy says, I should actually try some training sometime. Amy, you do loads of training. I know what you're saying though. You feel like you don't really do structured, targeted training. So what you do is fine. So maybe one day we should get together and just have a chat about, you know, like a bit of structure to your training if you want to aim for something. Very happy to do that with you. As we come up to 10k done, and we're about to hit the purple beacon, and that will be the Monday community 10k done, and we're going to go and have a nice shower and cool down a little bit. It is still 27 degrees here in shed quarters. Victoria's going to go and snap her towel to see if it cools her down anymore. Amy says, well done all, thank you both. Thank you, Amy. Thank you everybody for